Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I can't stand her after she chose my ex's side in a family feud? I am 32. I was in a long-term relationship with my ex, Mark 34 male, for nearly 7 years. We met when I was in my mid-20s, and for a long time, things seemed perfect. We were the couple everyone envies, successful, happy, and generally inseparable. We went on vacations together, had the same friend group, and even lived together for a few years. But over time, things began to change. We hit a rough patch that neither of us seemed able to fix. Mark became distant, withdrew emotionally, and started getting caught up in some bad habits, namely drinking a lot and staying out late with friends while I was left at home trying to hold everything together. It all came to a head when I found out he had been cheating on me. I found text messages and pictures on his phone, and it shattered me. Confronting him was one of the most painful things I've ever done. He tried to apologize, but the damage was done. I broke up with him and moved out of the apartment we shared. It was devastating, not just because of the betrayal, but because of the way it affected our friends and families. Mark was the one who always seemed to charm everyone. He had a way of making people like him. And because of that, when the breakup happened, I quickly became the villain in a lot of people's eyes. Our mutual friends were split between supporting him and supporting me, but the real blow came when my sister, Nicole, 29 female, sided with him. Nicole and I have always been close, especially since we didn't have a large family and we were basically each other's best friends growing up. I confided in her during the entire relationship, and when the breakup happened, she was one of the first people I reached out to for support. So when she chose to side with Mark, I was floored. She told me that she was torn, but that she believed Mark didn't mean to hurt me and that maybe we just weren't right for each other anymore. I was stunned. This wasn't some small misunderstanding or an argument about a minor issue. He had cheated on me, and she was willing to ignore that and side with him? The betrayal stung even more because it came from the one person I thought would always have my back. A few weeks later, I was at a family barbecue at my mom's house. Nicole was there with Mark. I was feeling uneasy, but I tried to power through. The awkwardness was unbearable, but what happened next really set me off. Mark was standing with my mom and dad, telling some joke that made everyone laugh. Nicole was standing next to him, laughing along with my parents, acting like nothing had changed. Like we hadn't spent years together, and like she hadn't been the one to witness the emotional toll the cheating had taken on me. At that moment, I lost it. I'd been bottling up so much anger and frustration, and seeing her act so normal with him, like they hadn't just destroyed everything, pushed me over the edge. I walked up to her and Mark and said, "I need to talk to you, Nicole. Now!" Everyone fell silent. The tension in the air was palpable, but I didn't care. I was done pretending everything was okay. Nicole looked at me, clearly surprised but still standing by Mark. "What's wrong, Eva? You're acting kind of weird." "Really?" I snapped. "You're gonna act like nothing's wrong after you chose his side? After everything he did to me?" Nicole's face dropped, and she stepped back slightly. "Eva, please don't make a scene. We're just trying to have a good time." "No," I said, taking a step closer to her. "You're the one who's making a scene. You've made it clear where you stand, Nicole, and it's not with me." Mark started to speak up, but I cut him off. "I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my sister." I turned back to Nicole. "How could you choose him? How could you, after everything I've been through?" Nicole opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. I could see the guilt in her eyes, but there was also a coldness there. It was like she had convinced herself that what she had done was okay. "I thought you'd have my back," I said, my voice shaking with emotion. "I thought family meant something to you. But clearly, I was wrong. You've chosen a man who cheated on me over your own sister, and I can't pretend that's okay." Nicole looked down at the ground, and I could feel the tension in the air. The moment was heavy, suffocating even. I was expecting her to apologize, to show some remorse, but instead, she just shook her head and muttered, "I'm sorry you feel that way, Eva." I couldn't believe it. "You're sorry? You're sorry I feel betrayed by you?" I laughed, though it was more bitter than anything else. "That's it, isn't it? You're just sorry that I'm upset, not that you did something wrong." Nicole's face flushed. "I didn't do anything wrong. I'm allowed to make my own decisions. He's my friend, too." I stared at her, shaking my head in disbelief. "So, That's what this is about? You're choosing to be friends with a man who hurt me. And you want me to just accept that? She didn't respond. And honestly, that silence said it all. She didn't care. I could see it in her face that she was standing by Mark, and there was nothing I could say that would change her mind. I can't do this, I said, stepping back. I can't have you in my life if you're going to choose him over me. You've made your choice, Nicole, and I've made mine. I walked away from her, leaving the barbecue without saying goodbye to anyone else. I was shaking with anger and hurt, but also a strange sense of relief. I had finally said what needed to be said, but the aftermath of that conversation has been BR Tao. Nicole hasn't tried to reach out to me, and no one in the family has said anything to me directly about it, but the atmosphere is tense whenever we're all together. It feels like no one is acknowledging what happened, and I'm stuck in this uncomfortable space where I'm questioning whether I overreacted. Did I push her away by saying those things? Or was I justified in standing up for myself, given how she treated me? Since then, I've had family members reach out, either defending Nicole's actions or telling me to calm down and forgive her. But no one seems to understand how deep the hurt runs. It's not just that she chose him. It's that she chose someone who directly hurt me and dismissed my pain. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I can't stand her after she chose my ex's side in a family feud? Did I overreact by confronting her in front of everyone, or was I right to stand up for myself?